principles for godly relationships. Enjoy today's teaching.
Wonderful. Wow, what a rainy day, right?
Yeah.
Lovely day to smoosh together, right? I am wishing that you are not here, that you are at home right now. Well, I'll give you something to make the smooshing more interesting when you get home. Yeah, beautiful. Let's bow down our heads for the prayer. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, bless your holy name because you are a good God and you are just an awesome Father. You write the best love stories. You are the one that thought of Adam and Eve even when nobody would have thought about it, and you thought about how to make them one. And we are here today to get to know more about what you had in mind when you created Adam and Eve, and what you had in mind when you said the two shall be one, and they shall be indeed of one heart. And so even as we go deep into this issue of love languages and the meaning behind it, I pray that your children here today will leave here blessed, will leave here having gone higher in their understanding of what relationship is, and Lord, that their marriages will be better for it in the mighty name of Jesus. And beyond that, their children, the community will be better for it in Jesus' name. Thank you, Father, for in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Well, thank you once again. I'm going to shout a bit so that those online can hear. Thank you once again for this invite. It was a short notice, but I think I had 1 day notice to plan. But I did try my best to put together something that I believe will bless you. Most times I spend more time teaching the teachers. So my prayer is that this will not be too, what we call it, academic for you, because most of my engagement is speaking with those that train people working with couples and families. But when my dear brother Chris approached, he knew that there was nowhere to say no. So I used that. So here I am today. So thank you. I'll start by introducing myself. I do this all the time, so I already have slides that introduce me. So I am Dr. Nabito. I am a clinician, an educator, an advocate for holistic family wellness. I am also a pastor. I bring over 2 decades of multidisciplinary expertise to the Healthy Family Development Ambassador Program. I have a PhD in Counseling, Education, and Supervision from Mesa University, Atlanta. What I do more there is train and prepare counselors for licensure in the state of Georgia. So basically I do more of training the trainers. I have a master's in the marriage and family therapy from Atwed Christian University. I have a second doctorate in chiropractic from Life University Atlanta. And so one of the things that I do because of that is that when I train, like I said, I do more training of trainers. I bring a more holistic perspective, mind, body, spirit perspective to you better understanding yourself and yourself in relationships. I'm training a group of people, we call ourselves ambassadors. I have a training school called the Day Spring Training Center, and that is certified by Lagos State as a training vocational center. And so our goal is to raise marriage warriors, family warriors, people fighting for healthy marriages and families. I also have a BA in theology from Life Theological Seminary and some other certificate in theology from the Redeemed Leadership Academy, a BSc in microbiology from University of Benin. In 1990, so I've been on this journey for a long time. Some of you might not have been born then, right? A certificate in Christian sex therapy. So I'm passionate about sex. Somebody did their eyes like, yeah. Healthy sex, helping people understand healthy ways of expressing their love, and also teaching abstinence and purity before marriage and how to do that properly. And I have some other certifications about feedback, basically to help your brain function better. I help people to rewire their brain for better action. Through the Healthy Family Initiative, I equip individuals and communities with evidence-based tools to build thriving families anchored in emotional, physical, and spiritual health. So I have graduates. This was the graduate from our last induction of Healthy Family Ambassadors. We have many people that are pastors that go through this training. I also am pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God project. I pastor the Marco Co project. That's where I'm coming from right now. And the Marco Co project has a church. We are about to start a second church there. And has a school with over 250 children going to school free of charge. And we also plan on setting up a maternity center there. And then I'm also an author of 3 impactful books, Are You Like Me? That talks about some of my challenges with the challenge I went through with self-esteem, anxiety, and some neurodevelopmental challenges. The Hope, I wrote that a long time ago, and then Mother and Child. Across all my roles, I remain driven by a calling to heal, equip, and restore lives through faith, service, and science. And so I try to make science as simple as possible to the layman. And now, so I'm going to be treating you, I know you all know what the 5 love languages are. So when I was giving that topic, I'm sure everybody in Nigeria, everybody all over the world, they've read Chapman, they've read this book, they know the 5 love languages. And so I'm not going to come and stand here and start talking about the 5 love languages. Pastor had already preached it, and I could easily pack my bag and go home. But what I want to do today is talk more about the foundation. What is the underpinning foundation about why you are who you are? Why that love language is important? Why is touch important to you? Because if you understand it and your spouse understands it, then it's easy to give and receive it. But when you don't understand why it is important, what is the principle, what is the ideology, philosophy behind the fact that I prefer, for instance, my love language more is service. I prefer people doing things for me. You can buy gifts, nice, but if you are not kind, and you don't serve, there's no amount of gift you can buy for me that really matters. You know, words of affirmation, nice, but sometimes I'm wondering what is behind that. What are you trying to get? You know, people might look at me, you are pretty, tell me more. Is there something else you want to ask? So I found that it's not such a big deal to me either. But when you are kind, oh my goodness, so please don't go and say that out. Don't go and say that out, because some people will get my heart. Kindness is important to me. So now why? Those are things I want us to understand, because when you understand why, you will understand how to get it. Because so it's not about just your spouse. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of times, your spouse might not give you everything you want. We don't even give you most of what you want. That is the reality. And so sometimes you might need to learn to ask and to get what you need to be well and to be healthy. I'm very realistic. I don't go stint because I look from both sexes. And so the reality of life is that sometimes you will not get everything you want, just by folding your hands and saying, my spouse ought to know what I need or what I want. But when you know what you need and why you need it, then you know how to assertively request for it in a way that is not aggressive and is not, what do you call it, you are not fighting that person. And you're able to communicate why you need it and why it is important to you. And so today we are going to look a bit beyond talking about those 5 love languages and really look at why are they important. Learn more about you and why you walk the way you walk. I like this word by Henry Ford. It says working together as a team. It says coming together is easy. You know, boy meets girl, boy sees girl. Hi, how are you? You look nice. This lady is looking smashing. You know, you like to go for lunch, go for dinner, and then we like each other. It says keeping together is progress. It's not just staying together. There are people that stay in the same house, but they are not really making progress. But really keeping together. It says, but working together is success. And to work together, you see, if you are not speaking my language, it's difficult. The Bible says that can two work together except if they are agreed. You know, so if you are not speaking my language, no matter how attractive or how interesting, there's no way we can work together. So part of speaking my love language, you know, is necessary for us to work together. And then marriage, true marriage, you know, that you will enjoy, that is powerful, that I enjoy on both sides. You know, sometimes one side enjoys it more than the other and just assume the other side too is enjoying it as much. But that on both sides is a marriage that is built on friendship, is built on mutual understanding. And that's why we are talking about love language. Please understand this, because when you understand the foundation, then those 5 love language story will not just be just a song. It will be something that you truly embrace. You know, when you realize that marriage is based on friendship, that is the foundation. You will spend, and friendship requires you speak my love language, because you cannot be friends with me if you are not speaking my love language. Friendship requires that you know what my love language is. But I tell you, the foundation of marriage, that is what will take you through everything. There are going to be times when you look at that face that you are not really, you are angry, sometimes you want to knock that person on the head for what they just said, or one silly behavior they have just behaved or something. There are times in life, you know, realistically you might feel that way. But when that person is your friend, you just say, I'm just like knocking your head now, look at your face. You know, it becomes more like a joke. You don't feel like using dagger like some people are doing now, killing each other. Because you don't kill your friend. You know, somebody that you truly have a relationship beyond all this excitement and attraction. Somebody that you truly consider is your friend. And all this love language thing is part of it. It's based on mutual understanding, attunement, trust, and commitment. For you to speak my love language, you know, for you there's trust, and for me to feel comfortable that you are not trying to get something, because you can be manipulative. So we have to be careful. I can learn your love language to manipulate you in a relationship. And so there's that part of acting, you must be able to trust you. For me to even receive it from you, are you with me, somebody? You know, it's not just enough that you are speaking it. For me to even receive it from you, I must feel I can trust you. I must be attuned to you. You know, I must feel that you are committed to me. And there must be repair attempts in our relationship. Now, I also want to say that part of the foundation of all this love language thing we are talking about is for you to understand, because we don't want to use it as a manipulative tool. Okay, I need to get my way. Okay, I've learned his love language, let me be doing it. No. Marriage, there must not be any element of manipulation in a marital relationship. Because a marital relationship must be a place of covenant, a place of grace, a place of empowerment, and a place of intimacy. If you don't want any of this, then there's no point being married. It's number one, a place of covenant, because I want to lay this foundation. It's so important. And the reason it's so important is because, you see, I see a lot, because I'm a marriage and family therapist and I train counselors. And I hear too much. I see things that is heartbreaking. People people that look at each other and came together and said, we love you. I will love you till I die. And then you are in bed with somebody else, barely 1 year into that relationship. And so, see, I don't sugarcoat. I'm not your happy-go-lucky. Let's talk about marriage here. I come to burst bubbles and let's face the reality of what is going on. And the first thing is that if you are not ready for a covenant, then maybe you need to ask yourself, then why am I here? Marriage is a place of covenant. And covenant requires that whether you like it or not, you must play your part of the covenant or something will go wrong. That's covenant. I'm sure you know we are all Africans. If you make a covenant with an idol and you fail your part of the covenant, you are in trouble. You have people, one young lady died recently and snake bit, and somebody said there might have been some covenant somewhere that that she didn't keep. We all know that covenant, and so I don't know why we joke with covenant in Christianity, where in the occultic world and in the dark world, when you make a blood covenant, you make a covenant with somebody. If you break that covenant, you have to pay a price. You don't just come out of a covenant. And so one thing I first want to establish as we talk about love languages, because when you have this established, then you know that learning your spouse's love language is a requirement. It is not a choice. It's not something I choose to do. It is something that you must do in order for that relationship to meet up with the place that you want it to be. It is something you have to do. I say to people that if you remember when you were in school, modern biology, when you dissect a cockroach, you will have to dissect it to the level of knowing the alimentary canal. I said that is what marriage is. You will learn to dissect your spouse and understand your spouse. Just like you used to do modern biology and dissect. I don't know what who is interested in the alimentary canal of a cockroach, but you have to dissect it and find it out. And that is what marriage is all about. And so when you understand it's a place of covenant, it's also a place of grace. A grace is forgiveness. It's a place where you have to give abundant grace. It's also a place of empowerment. A place where you choose daily to empower the person that you are in a relationship with. You choose daily to uplift their weaknesses and make it into strength. It's a place where you don't pull them down and you don't laugh at the fact that they don't know how to do something, but you look at how to help them because you have made a covenant to be with that person. And it's a place of intimacy. It's a place where you have somebody, you build a relationship with somebody that sees you as you are. A person that you can be vulnerable and not be afraid and not ashamed to be naked. And that is why in order to build all of this, we talk about love languages. Now, what are the factors that impact our love language? What is that thing that makes us different? Why is it that your love language is touch and mine is kindness and yours is gift? Why? Is it because we just automatically appear that way? Understanding that also helps you to know how to get it. Because sometimes in life, you don't sit in life waiting for somebody else to give it to you if it's as important to you. And you also learn how to ask for it in a way that is, like I said, is not combative. The factors that affect us and how we develop our love languages are this: family of origin, the impact where you grew up. The reason kindness is big to me because my mother was one of the kindest person. My mother was a servant. My mother, everybody knew her. So I grew up, that pattern was on a daily. I saw it. In my house, my house is there for everybody. All my friends that don't have our homes, my house is there. Come and stay. When I was in Form 5 and we were doing deliverances in school, and the girls were manifesting and they were thinking which home to take them to. My home, bring them, we do deliverance there. So my home was everybody, every family member lived there at one point or the other. And so as I asked myself, where is the foundation of this my love language came from, I realized that family of origin. my home, my mother was a service, and that was loyalty was demanded like that. So she, you don't need to buy her gift. But I remember, you see, as I'm talking to you, I need you to be thinking, because when you think, you know how important it is to you. I remember when my mother was very sick, even though our relationship was, shaky at that time, because, we had fought a bit. And I heard she was sick, because of the act of service that has been built in us. I was in the US. The doctor told me I shouldn't bother coming, that in 3 months she will die. I said, it's a lie. I prayed and I got into it says I should save that plane ticket money for funeral. I prayed and I said, no, this woman is not going yet. I was in Nigeria, and within a few months she was with me in the US. I was doing my PhD at that time. PhD. She was with me for 9 months. And she lived another 4 years after that. And, everybody, she would look at me, she said, I didn't know you love me like this. So, hey, I didn't know you love me. Everybody, she would tell them, all people were calling me her friends. Oh, my, she were friend. Your mother keeps talking about you, what you did for her. Why? Because act of service was important. It's important for you to understand this, how to get the heart of people. Are you with me?
Yes.
Life is not just about Mariam. Life is about me and you, human beings. They are the most important people to you. My mother, when she would say, what do you want me to do for you? I said, look, just be praying for me when you wake up in the morning. Just offer blessings upon my head. And I know that nothing can go wrong with me, because that woman blessed me. Before she died, every morning she'll be sending me text messages, blessing me. Because of what? The act of service. Every morning I see her, she would send me the text, blessings every morning. Because I met her need. I understood that. I didn't think and because that was also my language. It was so easy. It wasn't as difficult as she thought it was. It was difficult. Alone in the US, doing a PhD, and taking care of a mom that even doctors in the US said it was impossible. I had to fight them. I said, no, you can't put on palliative care. You must face this cancer head on. That is what matters in life. Going above and beyond to meet the need of another person. It is not just about yourself. Are you with me? And that is what you'll be remembered for. Everybody, all our friends till today, when they call me, Mama, is prayer, because of that act of service. And for her, to the day she died, she would say, I didn't know you love me like this. And I'll be wondering, what did I do? What about the one you have been doing all these years? Am I making sense to somebody this afternoon? Yes. Then you have attachment pattern. Attachment pattern are factors that affect your love language. So do you now understand part of how family of origin affects your love language? How? Somebody tell me. I like an interactive. I told you I'm a teacher. I teach. So how does it affect your love language? Yes, sir.
So family of origin affects your love language by shaping how you expect to be treated. When you see the way they behave, it sort of just shapes you. So you think you expect that as normal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that. You should just expect it as normal, because that is the crucible that formed you. And so you view life from that paradigm and just think that is the normal thing. But somebody else is from another crucible, and then the two of you get married with different mindset. I'll give you an example of my husband before he died. In his home, their love language is that when they are eating, breakfast must be eaten together on the table. There were 8 in the family, so what's that story? The 7 dwarfs are being, we're on the table. Everybody had their plates. Everybody, when I went to the family house in Warri, this is where this person sits. This is where this person sits. Now, in my own house, It was me and my mother. We wake up in the morning, most days we were late for everything. We were late for everything. Oh, morning! Breakfast, table, who does that? There's no time to think of table. You are eating on the go. And so, what is my paradigm? My paradigm is eat breakfast on the go. What is my husband's love and paradigm? His paradigm is eat breakfast, every member of the family seated around the table. So you can imagine what happened the first year of marriage. And you understand me?
Yes, sir.
So you understand the family of then attachment pattern. Attachment pattern have to do with your bonding. The bonding is also under family of origin. It's the bonding that takes place. Whether you had a good bonding, whether your emotional needs were met growing up, we call it attachment. Whether it was secure, insecure, or disorganized. Some of us were from homes where they were doting on us. Some of us were from homes where, from the moment we were born, they threw you away. Some of us were from where we be favored. All of that affects your love language and how you exist. If you are from a home where you were doted on, attachment was strong, there are certain expectations that you have of what relationship looks like. If you are from a home where everything, you were not sure if you were going to receive attention or not, it is a different pattern. But I don't want to go in there. That is a whole story for another day. And then finally, cultural and environmental influence. Nowadays, we are watching things from abroad and we are imbibing it, and it's also causing a lot of stress because we were not brought up under that cultural underpinning. And so you marry somebody that is coming from Onitsha, and then you've been watching Nollywood all your life in Lagos. I'm sure you know what how that happened. So all these are factors that impacts your love language. So this is the definition of the family of origin. I've already defined this. I'm not going to show you family of origin. And this affects your DNA, it affects your love language, personality. And so to understand your spouse, you first have to even understand what we are talking about, understand yourself, and understand the importance of this. Because if something is intertwined in your DNA, is it just a love language? Because we trivialize it when we just call it a love language. Do you understand me? It is not just a love language. When something is intertwined with your person, with who you are. The interaction less growing up becomes a template that you use for future interaction. As I said before, your attachment is the essential foundation for healthy personality and functioning in society. And then we have this different type of attachment that impacts on what we are talking about, love language. You have people, because when you know this, it now helps you to understand why it's important for me to show up in what we are talking about. You have people that as a result of family of origin, they come out with anxious attachment. Anxious attachment is associated with negative view of self and elevated views of others, constantly seek validation from their partner and experience high anxiety when they don't have that validation. So there are some people that validation is not just a love language. So I hope I'm making you understand the importance of what this is to that person. This is like a need in a person's life. And that is why I'm teaching that if your spouse is not giving it to you because it's a need, you also have to deal with it. Are you with me? Because you must choose to be happy in this life. Yes. You must choose joy. Yes. So when you understand that your need for validation is not just a love language issue, it's because there were some things that happened earlier on in life that made you to need that validation. And so you learn to then find healthy ways and have healthy conversations with your spouse to make your spouse understand why it is important. I'll give you one example. See, I like being vulnerable. I talk about myself when I'm teaching so that you understand it hits home. There was a day I was watching my husband who was playing with his niece and nephews. And they were rolling on the floor and they were laughing. And I stood and I was watching them. I was watching them like this. And then when he got up and sat down, I said, why don't you play with me like that? And he looked at me. He said, are you Lola and Pupu? You know, we call them Lola. Are you Lola? Why would I? You're not a baby now. Why would I play with you like that? I said, why can't you roll on the floor and play like that? And he said, why would I? You're not Lola now. And when he said it, I took a moment. I sat down because I like processing. I asked myself, why did I want that? Why was that important to me? Are you with me?
Yes.
And then I realized that because I did not have it growing up. I did not grow up with my father. So I never had a father who was on the floor with me. So I'm going beyond just talking about love language as just a language. As a need in our life. That sometimes people might not fulfill it. But you have to find healthy ways to fulfill it. Now, because I understood it, I could then educate my husband better. Because to him it was funny, why would you want somebody to roll on the floor with you? But then I had to process it because why would you understand something I do not even understand? Do you see why it's important that even the love language you are shouting today, you yourself have to understand why you need it, why it's important to you? Because the other person, so that when the person is giving it to you, it's not just giving it to you like, okay, it's your love language. He's giving it to you from a heart, from a well, a deep well of understanding. And understand that it is food for you. It's not just I'm giving you your love language. It is food. It is important in your healing, in your journey, and in you growing. So because I took time to understand, so you have to understand, why do you need word of affirmation? Why do you need act of service? Why do you need gifts? What is it about it? Why is it important to you? It's when you first understand. You cannot expect somebody to understand something you self cannot understand. Are you with me? Yes. And that's why I'm taking this part, because when he told me to teach the topic, I said, okay, we all know about love language. How do I teach it in the way? What way? And he says, teach it in a way that you teach them the foundation, for them to even understand why. Because many things in life, we don't know the why. And we live our life expecting people to give us something that we do not know the why. Because when we know the why, then we know how to give it to ourselves. Because the Bible says that love your neighbor as yourself. I need to love myself first. So if I have to roll on the floor myself and be like a baby, then I will do it. And it's interesting in counseling, one of the areas I love most in counseling is play therapy. Play therapy. Because it allows me to express that inner child, inner need. I directed so much towards play therapy and sanctuary therapy. That's the best part of my therapy. And I used to dream that when I have a center, it will be a center that has all kinds of jumping castle and all of that. And so when children come in, they will jump on the jumping castle, they will roll on the floor. Because for me, in believing it, I can believe it through them. The human nature is very deep, you understand me? You believe it through them and actually find healing and satisfaction as you are working with them and holding and laughing with them. So when you understand you You know, one of my greatest teaching I teach is self-awareness. And when you understand yourself, your life is easier and sweeter. And then you know you are more assertive. You know what to ask from people. And you know that if, one day I was asking me a question, I just kept quiet. I don't have to answer if I don't want to answer. You see, and you don't feel offended. Do you understand me? It's you be you. You are confident, you are okay with you. Disorganized, fearful, avoidant. This type of personality has difficulty trusting and or relying on others, is defensive, yet desires intimacy and closeness. And then you have avoidant, dismissive. Emotionally, this type of personality presents as strong and dismissive. Does not believe they have to be in a relationship to be complete. We avoid emotional closeness and suppresses their feelings. So this kind of people, their love language will definitely not be touch. You understand me? They might even appear as if, I think there should be a last line that no love language. I'm proposing a sixth one. They will appear as if they don't have any love language. Don't gift. What's your gift for? Service. Why are you doing that? What do are you trying to blackmail me? Touch. Why are you touching me? So it's important. I want to propose a sixth one, none at all, because these people will fall into that category. But I want to tell you, I want to submit at this point that some of us are this, not because we want to be, but because our journey, the journey of our life. Attachment issues are issues that are not your fault. It can start in the womb. It can start with abandonment in the womb. When a parent, a mother does not want that child and is disconnected. And so we come out with different kind of needs. Are you with me? I'm going to jump this because I don't think. Let me go here. For every one of us, there's a basic need of the heart. There's a need for acceptance, love, worth, and so all these love languages are for each one of us. So we all have this need, but then we meet it in different ways. So for me, to feel accepted, love, worth, it might be through an act of service. For somebody else, it is through the giving of gifts. But everybody has this basic need. And so when you understand this and that your act of service or speaking your spouse love language is helping them to meet the basic needs of the heart. A need that every human being wants acceptance. And so when you reject your spouse, you criticize them, you complain, you are not good enough, you are not, even if you are speaking love language, it is not, you are just pouring something in a bucket and taking it out again. Love, worth. Everybody have the basic needs of feeling they have the sense of worth, sense of belonging, being able to make a difference, sense of security, and I need to matter. What makes relationships satisfying or enduring? How well they meet basic needs for comfort, care, sexual gratification, those kind of basic needs. That is what makes the relationship satisfying and enduring. And so, speaking the love language that we are talking about today, how well is it meeting your spouse's basic need of the heart? Do you even know the basic need of the heart? You see, many people get married today for different reasons and have not gone through the school of marriage and the school of understanding themselves and another human being. And so we finally come to the one, you see, I have gone before we finally arrived at this, which is the love language that we all know. Love language is about a need for connection, but it's beyond connection. It's about a need to meet the basic need of your heart. It's about the need for you to heal from some attachment wounds. It's about the need for you to fulfill a template that has already been crafted for you long ago. So you have the 5 love languages that we all know. Receiving gifts convey the idea that they are important and thought of, acts of service. I want to submit here that many of us, we have more than, it's not just one, it's just that one is stronger. You know, of course, act of service for me is stronger, but I like touch. But maybe not so much. I like quality time. Receiving gifts, I like it too. Like receiving gifts also, even though it has never been top of my list, but I do like it. But I will say the one that is top of my list is act of service. I want you to tell me what is top on your list now.
Funny enough, act of service one. Yeah.
And why? Now you should be able to tell me the why.
The way I express love is by service. So if you give that in return, I feel that love.
So why do you think you express love by service? What is the where did that come from? From what I have shared now so far.
Okay, from the when you spoke about the family, like how you were brought up, I think that is where I got mine from too, because my mom is Mona General. She brings like anybody to the house. She can sacrifice even her matrimonial bed for a stranger. That is how good she is. So even I now got to understand that even while I was growing up, even in my university days, I was just with my sister, but we ended up 8 in that room. I was just bringing people, feeding them. My mom would send me food, I would feed them. So I just realized that it was from the place I came from. She's getting it. You know, when she talked about feeding, I remember I was in Uniben. When my mother was coming to visit me, she would bring food for the whole floor. To feed the whole floor. So once in a semester, the whole floor is waiting for my mother's visit. She will cook not just for me. Everybody all the rooms on my floor, everybody will get food. So act of service. One more. Somebody want to tell me that you now know from what we have discussed, you can link it. Okay.
For me, it's quality time.
Good.
I like quality time because growing up, I didn't really stay with my mom. At some point, I stayed with my mom, but we departed for a while. I stayed apart for like 10 years or so. So she calls me almost every day. And we spend time, like we can talk to hours. Before phone became very popular. So when I got a phone, my mom started sending me airtime, to talk to me for long. And again, I realized that once I have my friends and my family around, it made me to become a gamer. I love all of us sit together, we play game, gist, talk about football, talk about those type of things. Gets to me. So on the other side of me, I like acts of service too. Okay, so
Wonderful. Are we getting it?
yes.
Is it making sense? See the quality time. My mother will call me and speak to me for 2 hours. And then now, you now want that to automatically end because you are now married. You see how you built that need into your life. And then you now get married. Now, she can't call you for 2 hours and just with you anymore. But as that need disappeared, as that pattern in your brain, that pattern, that pathway in your brain chemistry has been developed. And just because you are now married, does that mean that that pattern should just disappear? No. You just look for somebody else to feel it. You are with me?
Yes.
Now, I must say something here before I move from here. one of our wahala is that we give our love language. I want you to remember that. Can you, is my mic, is it working? Can you hear me? You can't hear me. But it's on.
Yes.
You want me to hold on?
You can go on.
So one of our challenge, I want you to forever remember this, because she said something, because this is my love language, I give it. That's the mistake all of us make. We don't take time to find out. It's easy to give our love language. And so we just assume that everybody needs our love language because that's what we need. And that is where problem starts in marriage. Because you are going, but I love you now, I'm serving you, I'm giving to you. But no, you are not giving me my own love language. So imagine you have a husband that his love language is touch. And so as a result of the touch, he likes sex very well. Your own love language is act of service. And to him, the more he pursues you to have sex, what is he doing? He's speaking his love language. And he said, but aren't you excited at pursuing you? Don't you know that he's showing you that? But then he has not helped you to clean the kitchen. He has not helped you to take care of the children, kids. He has not helped you in any way. He's not speaking your love language. So even though he's giving you his own love language, but because he's not speaking your love language, you are not feeling the love. Yeah? Is it sinking?
Yes.
And so it's important not just to understand, give your love language, but in your relationship, to take time out. That is where I talk about studying your spouse as if you are doing modern biology. To understand the other person's love language, and to also educate the person on your love language and why it is important to you. Because you now know why it is important. So you can imagine after you've lived all these 30 or 20 something years with act of service, then somebody expects you to just drop it. Is it possible? It's not. I like your smile. What are you thinking? Tell me, what are you thinking? She goes, She's eating, let her. They are possessing. So tell me what the possessing is bringing out. I give her mic. Let her say something. Give her a back.
Reflecting on something.
She's been doing since. Say something.
Okay, about the love languages. You asked which of us is our own love language, and I mentioned that within me I was thinking about gifting, because I give people a lot, even when it's the last that I have. I'll give, and oftentimes I get back in return, because the Bible says it's blessed to give. So it's just
You are just reflecting on that. Good.
because sometimes I go to places, people I don't even know just gift me something, and I'll be like,
So that's your love language. Good. So as we continue with love languages, because I don't want to just restrict it to those 5 things without you understanding what they are doing. You know that just that act of service might be communicating so much to that person. Are you with me? You know, and so I just want you from scriptures, I want you to see, you know, I did this study, you know, some years back, and it says the maleness and femaleness. As much as, you know, they are unique, they are needs, basic needs of everybody's heart, but there are also some needs that are gender-based. And so I have here so that you know that when you speak those love languages, what are you doing? For the man, you speak it to honor, the need of a man. A man wants to be honored, companioned. A man longs to truly live and cleave. He wants to be treated as a king in his kingdom, that is admired, accepted and not shamed, allowed to lead. I can preach a whole sermon on all of this, we can go 2 days on talking about each of these things. Supported to provide. Don't take the providing away from him. Appreciated, trusted. He wants a trusted partner. And then on the other hand, the femaleness wants to be what? Cherished, pampered. Yeah, am I speaking?
Yes,
Nourished, protected from deception, needs a trusted leader. You can take a picture because all of these have scriptures. Covered, trust. She's trusting, and she wants somebody that she can trust. She wants to be the one and only. Can I hear a yay for that? She wants to be complimented and appreciated. She wants to be apparelled. Don't say, I don't buy it for me. And she wants to be what? Understood. Don't say, women, we can't understand them. Yes, women, we can't understand them, but this woman, they understand. Why should you understand women? The one that you need to understand is what? You. So the speaking of the love language is beyond just speaking. Are you getting where I'm going? Yes. It's beyond just speaking the person's love. It speaks into so many things. It speaks into what are you doing with that love language? Are you showing him that you honor him, that you admire him, that you accept him, that you allow him to take the lead, that you appreciate him? Or are you showing her that you cherish her, that you pamper, you want to pamper her, nourish her, protect her? She's your one and only. I'm going to jump this and I'm going to go here because I want to finish soon. I want to say that this is a summary again of what I've been saying about understanding, because when you understand the importance of speaking my love language, then it is not difficult. You don't see it as a difficult thing. You see, life, my need, that love language is like an iceberg. How many people remember Titanic? Titanic was destroyed. As big as that ship was destroyed by an iceberg. Why? Because all the sailor or the captain saw was the need, was the one on top. He did not see all the family of origin issues, the attachment, all the things underneath. And so he just saw ice on top of water. And he said, oh, small, and he went towards it. And what destroyed the ship was not the one on top, but the one that was under. It sliced the ship. For everything that we express outside, for all those needs that we are talking about, there are things underneath that keeps it going. And if we don't dig to understand the things underneath that keeps it going, we will end up being like the Titanic ship. We will shipwreck the marriage. We will sink it. The large ship sunk. Many died because he assumed that all that was needed was the one on top, but forgot that this is an iceberg and the one under is large. Understanding your spouse's love language is important, like I said again. So this is just kind of hitting it home. It's important to understand what is it that holds that love language. What are the basic needs of the heart? What are the foundational issues? Does that person have attachment issues? I have an assessment. I will send it to you, Pastor, to send it out. To assess what's your attachment wound. Because as we are seated in different places, the soul is our needs different. I grew up with a very anxious attachment because there was a lot of separatedness growing up. Like I told you, I grew up with a single mom. So I grew up with an anxious, that one you saw, anxious attachment. And that's why, Pastor, I have some of my books here, in case some are interested in reading. That was how I developed, I became very anxious, extremely anxious. Anxiety. I used to have butterflies many times in my stomach. Some of you have irritable bowel syndrome. Some of you are, I saw somebody, I'm like, I just was smiling. This person has some level of anxiety. You have to work and deal and understand why, so that you can deal with it. Part of what I wrote in my book, And You Like Me, is my journey in order to help others through that journey of abandonment, of rejection, and anxiety, and how I got to know these things and I began a journey to heal. That today, you look at me, you might not really, you wonder, does this person really have anxiety? Oh my goodness. I used to bite my nails so badly just to calm down my anxiety. Are you with me, somebody? Yes. Finally, as we round up, all of this fits into one thing: intimacy. Into me what? See. Remember what I said, basic needs of the heart. Everybody wants to be seen, wants to be known, and wants to be loved. Because the God that created us is the God of love. He says, I am what? Love. And so I'm going to take the slide back. I didn't want to talk about one as we look at intimacy. There are different kinds of love, and all this love is necessary in marriage. Because God says, I am what? Love. If you are not feeling love or being able to express love, then there's a problem. It has nothing to do with your spouse. There are many things. You see, in my years, I've counseled for many years. I sit with couples, and many times I say to myself, the basic problem is an individual. We need to deal with the individual. I had someone was on his third marriage. So I asked the question. This was not in this country anyway. I said, what happened with your first marriage? The person said, I stopped loving her. I said, your second marriage, it lasted for 2 years. What happened? I stopped loving her. Okay, this third one that you are bringing for counseling, what's the problem? I stopped loving her. So I said, I think the problem here is not about the relationship, but about your concept and definition of love. Your definition of love has to do with a feeling and excitement. And when that feeling and excitement disappears, then you feel there's nothing left in that relationship. But the reality is that it will disappear. Let me explain to you why. The reason why is because when that excitement and feeling is there, you have an hormone called oxytocin that is high in your brain. But the problem with oxytocin is that if it's high permanently, it will destroy the brain. Because oxytocin causes your brain not to see clearly. So you see like in a shade. That's why they said love is blind, but marriage opens it. It is not that it's oxytocin. Oxytocin allows you to look at your spouse and what they are doing from a colored tinted glass. So it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You marry and then it matters. Very matter. After the marriage. Oh, it doesn't matter because oxytocin is high. Excited, it touches you. Your heart is your body. But you see, oxytocin cannot remain.
it must go and you activate it after a while again. It must go down because you must do work now. Can you continue living like this, just staring into the sky? You will not eat food. So oxytocin has to go down to allow you to work. And then you stay up again. But the problem is if your love is based on oxytocin, when it goes down, then you look at that person and say, why did I marry her? Hi. But your love has to be combined with all of this. There must be unconditional love. I used to say to my husband sometimes, I said, Tommy, I don't like you. And I tell you, sometimes you are so that arrogant sometimes, but the reality is that I love you till death. I will do anything for you. I don't need to like you to be able to do anything. God did not like our sin nature, but He still died for us. He didn't like our sin nature. He didn't like our behavior. But He still died for us. Unconditional love, agape. It is not because it is covenant love. It is that covenant love that pushes you to continue to seek to speak that person's love language. Even when that person is not pleasing you. Even when you don't feel excited. Even if that person has annoyed you. It is the unconditional love. The covenant love. Compassionate love. A relationship without compassion. We call it empathy. Putting myself in your shoe. How does it feel like to be working day and night, no rest? Let me put myself in your shoe. Compassionate love must be there because it helps you to speak that love language. Then companionship, friendship. These are the love that you have to build. Marriage is not for small children. It is good work. Romantic love is important because if not, you'll be running in circle. Sex is not good. I don't want. Because you must build it, and there are things you do. That talk is not for today. There are ways in which you have to. There are things that nature has. I'll give an example. You don't want to play some music, some lovely instrumental. Use some lavender in your nose. Your body will respond, and you will want to. She's shaking. She's saying, "Are you?" No, I'm hitting it. How can this old woman do all those things? You understand? Your brain will go and take it. Your brain will be wired. How many of you when you were chasing each other, you had come back from work, you were tired, you just want to go and sleep, and then you hear the phone ring and it says it's coming to take you for dinner. The tiredness just what? Disappears. You can change those things. Romantic love is necessary. I said to couples, sometimes you need to schedule sex so that and plan for it and say today, everywhere say, it's action time. From that morning, you begin to plan for it. Don't let it be, you just come touch. Let's go and do. What? How can? Don't let me even look at your eyes. Hello there. It's not let's do. Hiya! No, don't do that. I don't believe anybody here does that. Am I right? Sure, I'm speaking to married people.
No, they are innocent people.
Pastor. Affectionate love. And get you need to be affectionate. All of them must be engaged in passionate love. And that's the love, as you are speaking my love language, when you are engaging this one. Because speaking it not from a manipulative standpoint, because the human mind will find manipulation out. You speak it from a standpoint of agape, from wishing me the best, from wanting the best for me. You speak it from a compassionate heart, a heart of empathy, feeling for me, feeling my pain, seeing this this man, he has been on the road looking for money for this family. And when he comes, maybe I should just wear something and smell nice and say and dance for him. Or this woman is morning, school, cook. You know, empathy, compassion. You engage all of this. And as you do that, what are you building? Intimacy. 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 That I may know him. Intimacy was from the beginning. That was what Jesus, that was what God desired from the beginning. It is not a new word. It says that I may know him. The mystery of oneness with God. John 17, 10 to 11, 20 to 23. All mine are thine. All thine are mine. That they may be one as we are one. That is the greatest mystery, desire of the Father. Wishing for the church, how much more husband and wife. Our Father is saying to you today that you may be one as we are one. The Trinity are one. God didn't say, let I make man. He says, let us. Because we are what? We are one. He says, thine, all mine, being thine. Until we get to this point, we are not doing marriage. When it's I. All thine are, all mine are thine, and thine are mine. They may be one as we are one. Father art in me, and I in thee, I in them, and thou in me, that they may be made perfect in love. We are made perfect through this kind of love. That's how our life, our marriage becomes perfect. Our relationship, our lives, in this kind of oneness that is necessary. This is the dream of the greatest love stories ever written. Do you enjoy watching any movie that there's no love story?
Yes.
There must be a male and female scene somewhere. Yes. Have you watched maybe a few human beings, but for most of us, you watch a film that is only a male from beginning to the end. No woman showed up, only male in that film. Some people can watch it, but how many people would not like that film? Raise up your hand. Thank you. 90%. So if you are the minority, let's say hands on you. True intimacy is achievable as we become more self-aware. That's what I've been talking about since. Understanding your love language. Understanding why that is your love language. Understanding your spouse's love language. And understand why they need it. Because you are meeting their need. It is not a trivial thing. You are meeting a need. When you serve me, you are meeting a need. Are you with me? Yes. As we become more self-aware of how we show up in this world, when we choose to be honest and not hide and decide to experience life fully, I want a full life. I don't like what I see marriages. Many unhappy people. I want to, why would I live this life? And I will live unhappy with another human being. No. We must decide that's not your portion. True intimacy is the working of two people daily, truly, sorry, that grammar, something went wrong there. To become one. It is not a path for the faint-hearted. It is to become naked and not ashamed. Vulnerability without fear. Because perfect love does what? Cast out fear. Understanding the love language of our family of origin teaches us who we are and how we give and receive love. And how do we do that? As I close, you must be a listener. You must be a listener. You must listen with everything in you because it's active listening. Because in order to learn, you must listen, you must learn, you must watch. You must watch. Like I was watching because I'm used to watching.
And I noticed all the You must be a scientist putting amoeba under the microscope. That is how you must dissect your spouse. You must listen. When you go and visit them, especially their family of origin. When you visit their mother, visit the father. It's not too late. Even if you didn't do it before you got married, watch, listen. When I was trying to learn about myself and why I do what I do, I was watching my mother like a hawk. At times she said, "Why are you looking at me like that?" She used to be afraid, and I will smile because I will see some things and say, "Hey, so this is why I do this." The ones I don't like, "Hey, so this is how people will be feeling towards me." When I learned this principle, I learned so much. I'll just sit and listen more. I will watch her like a hawk. You see, people used to say they love my smile, but you know where I got it from? My mother's smile is like sunshine. And so I love her smile. So I used to say to myself, look at me smiling well, because I love this her smile. It's important that we listen, active listening. Passive listening is when you are listening and you're on your phone. These generations, remove this thing. When you are talking with people. Oh, I demand people, when you are talking to me, I'll say, "Excuse me, can you?" When you are done, don't be rude about it. I just say, when you are done. I say, because I'm more valuable. I have more than to be competing with the phone with you. When you want to talk to me, look at me. I'm too. So look, if you understand your value, you don't degrade yourself and you don't fight for it. I just say, no, you know what, I can see what you're about to do is important. Finish it. When you are done, talk to me. Give me your attention. Because it is difficult, even when you are listening to me, to get everything I'm saying, and I will round up with that activity. How much more when you are not listening to me? That's why there's so much problems, because we are no longer really hearing each other. You are not listening. You are too busy. You are watching football and you say you are listening. Somebody says you are watching football and you are telling your husband to go and buy gas when he goes out. And he goes out and he comes back without gas. And he said, "I told you," he said, "You didn't tell me. I told you when he was watching football. Why were you two telling me to buy gas when he was watching football?" Are you with me? Yes. It's difficult. I studied brain. It's difficult for your brain to take in competing information at the same time. It will take one and then put the other one in a waiting room. And if nothing reinforces it, it will kick it out. That's how the brain works. And so we lose information that are important because we are not listening. So make up your mind from today on that your spouse is worth listening to, because that is where you learn. You've chosen that person. You've chosen that person. You've chosen that person. Final warning. And this, I have to say this because the reason why is because it has become a pandemic. When you don't do all this, we are doing. To live with one person is wahala, is work. But if you are not ready to do the work, then you start jumping around, you start fooling around because you are not ready to do the work. There's no time. The work of just trying to manage one person. But I want to scare you. I want to say this to you, please. Because infidelity is high, too high. Very rampant in the body among Christians. So it's a warning. Please, when you become one flesh with another who is not your spouse, through the connection of the genitals, your bodies become conduit for what is in the other. Both at the physical, emotional, and emotional levels, you exchange body fluids with all their contents. Sickness, disease, attitude. You combine DNA and you get infused with the other person's energy. What an exchange. What a what? An exchange. I will want to advise you, spend the energy Instead of spending energy chasing demons from your life and from your destiny, and marrying your path with things that should not be there, because you have carried another person's energy, you've carried another person's attitude, you've carried another person. Because I said to people, the egg, the sperm, they have life. Whose life in it? Your life. For a woman, for instance, when the sperm enters you, that person's like DNA gets absorbed in your body. It's not everything that comes out. There was a research that they did, that they found the DNA of men women have slept with in their son. Yes, it's out there. They found the DNA. Because that DNA was absorbed by you. So let's be careful and let us do the work that we need to do and focus on the one that we have in front of us. Before we okay, any questions? Yes. Before I take the questions, let me just tell you some of the services we have, and you'll take your questions. We do something in my office called the marriage checkup. You want to check your marriage. It's an assessment and sitting with an ambassador. You know, I train ambassadors. And you do an assessment, it's a questionnaire, 182 questions. And then you sit with to assess the health of your marriage and which area of your marriage you need to work on. So we do that. This is it, the marriage checkup. It's the marital health equivalent, like an annual. You go for physical health and all of that, and you don't think you should check your marriage. Then I have the Healthy Family Ambassador program. You saw the picture. The next one is in October. If you I'll send out the information. It trains you to become a healthy family ambassador, to be able to help others and help your marriage. And then I have the Marriage Mentor Couple Internship Program, where you are trained to mentor other couples. And that is it. And then I have some of my books out there in case you're interested. Okay.
Thank you for watching.